The Galapagos Islands in the Pacific Ocean are considered by many to be one of the world's best wildlife viewing destinations. It is a place where crabs dance, birds walk and lizards swim. The marine iguana is the only ocean-going lizard in the world. Sometimes they're called imps of darkness or Godzillas. We think they deserve a better reputation. In 1835, Charles Darwin visited the Galapagos Islands with the beagle. He described the creatures in his book Voyage of the Beagle. The marine iguana is a hideous-looking creature of a dirty black color, stupid and sluggish in its movements. The marine iguana, and the land iguana for that matter, will not win a beauty contest for cuddly animals with the wide-set eyes, smashed-in faces, spiky dorsal scales, and knotty, salt-encrusted heads. But even Darwin would have to admit that they are very well adapted to their environment. They could endorse his famous evolution book on the origin of species. Unique among modern lizards, the Galapagos marine iguana is a herbivore that has the ability to forage in the sea for green algae and seaweed, which makes up almost all of its diet. Females and small males forage in the intertidal zone, on algae exposed during low tide. And large males forage for algae on the water at sea. They tuck in their arms and slide on, wiggling their bodies, crocodile-like through the water, with their laterally flattened tails. Marine iguanas can dive as deep as 30 meters and can spend up to 1 hour on the water. Other adaptations in marine iguanas are blunt heads, flat noses and razor-sharp teeth, allowing them to easier grade algae off rocks. Marine iguanas have powerful limbs with long sharp claws for crawling over the rugged lava, clinging onto rocks and pulling themselves forward on the water in heavy currents. They mainly live in colonies on rocky shores, where they bask in the sun with outstretched legs after visiting the relatively cold water. The cold water is also unforgiving, and the dark grey color helps to absorb heat from the sun better. The head may appear white from encrusted salt. As a sea reptile, they ingest mud salt while feeding. The salt is filtered from their blood and then excreted through their nostrils, expelled from the body in a process much like sneezing. A male iguana will threaten another male by bobbing his head and opening the mouth, displaying the reddish pink interior. Western Galapagos racer.
It's going towards the lizards. Probably looking for a lizard, looking for a baby iguana.
Their population is under constant pressure from non-native predators like rats, feral cats and dogs, who feed on their eggs and young. They are protected throughout the archipelago and are considered vulnerable to extinction. Tintoreras has a trail where you can see marine iguanas on the rocks or under the mangroves. This is one of the few places where the iguanas breed successfully because of the absence of non-native animals that could kill their young. Baby iguanas came out of the crevices to warm up. These young iguanas won't get their feet wet until they're 2 years old, at which point they will be big enough to swim. They just stay in their own pee or poo. Their stance attracts flies, which attract the lizards. There's a symbiotic relationship between lizards and marine iguanas. Crabs and finches also have such a relationship with them. the skeletons and claw of marine iguanas.
An uncommon behavior. This iguana is what we know as a marine iguana. They should not be feeding into this plant. They should be eating the algae on the sea, but right now the water is warm and the productivity of algae drop bottom. So they don't find enough food on the sea, they are starving, they're losing weight, and they go after any green they find around.
Marine iguanas vary in appearance between the different islands, and several subspecies are recognized. Marine iguanas from Hispaniola Island are the most colorful and have sometimes been called Christmas iguanas. Scientists figure that land-dwelling iguanas from South America must have drifted out to sea millions of years ago on logs and other debris, eventually landing on the Galapagos. From that species emerged marine iguanas, which spread to nearly all the islands of the archipelago. The land iguana is similar in general appearance and demeanor to the marine iguana, except for its yellow to sandy brown color, rounded tail and lack of webbed feet. They feed on cactus pads, other plants and insects. Next week we'll be talking about the Burmese answer to Western makeup. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel and watch the next video.
Dream
Explore
and travel with us.